Hey guys, welcome to Coptic Topic. I'm Maurice,
And I'm Maria, and today we're here with...
Max?
Alex.
and today's topic is about friendship.
Before we get started, we want to say that this is all just opinions.
So, what does it mean to have a friend to y'all?
Having someone that you can count on, someone that's always there, someone that's going to build you up, and someone that God puts in your path to help each other grow, essentially.
Max, what about you?
Wow, that's I would say a friend, there's different levels of friends, but I think a friend, just at the base, is a person that you can, in a sense, be vulnerable with, you can rely on, a person that you can trust, and a person that will consider you before himself or herself.
I have a question since you mentioned levels. Do you think all the levels of friendship are necessary? Like a what's the word? Acquaintance? Like just a friend, a best friend, you know?
When you mean necessary,
I was about to say,
what
Like-
do you mean?
Necessary to grow and to live, you know?
Do you have an answer for?
well, I guess it kind of depends on what you mean by that. If you're asking, should you have acquaintances with everybody? Should you be making relationships with everybody? No, not everybody that you meet. But should you just have friend and stranger? No, definitely not. There's got to be levels of relationship depending on who that person is and how they live their life, on how close you let them be.
I was gonna say, like, you can't be vulnerable with all your friends. You can't
Mhm.
trust all your friends, like, in a sense, to really trust and rely on them. And that's why there's kind of different levels. You have maybe two or three that, like, if you're in trouble, you turn to them, or if you like need advice, you turn to them. But that doesn't necessarily mean your other friends that won't be there aren't your friends. So it's not necessary, but it kind of just happens. Like, you kind of have ones like for that and ones for that.
Yeah.
I was also going to say you can't really have a friend without having them as an acquaintance first. Like, you don't just become friends.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
I guess it is
But I also feel
necessary.
like with some people you just click faster than others. Like I feel like it depends also.
Yeah.
That's true.
What are y'all favorite oh my gosh. What are y'all's favorites like Bible examples? Like favorite friendship Bible examples.
I know you have a ton. He was telling me a ton on the way.
No, I kind of just skimmed over what you guys had on the outline, and I really like.
There's no outline, guys.
No,
Part
I-
Oops.
Yeah.
No, but I really did like the friendship of Amba Antonio Sambabola, only because it's not like they grew up together and then they lived the whole life together and experienced things together. God separated them and made them live their own lives, and then at the end, He put them together and they became what I would call true friends. Even after that, they didn't hang out much. They didn't, and you always pray together, but their relationships together brought the whole church. I mean, they started the monastery. Antonio's was the first monk.
Yeah. I that one really caught me. There was also, I think, St. Paul and Timothy. Is that I think those two were really uh, encouraging each other, and St. Paul's mission was such a exhausting one, and he wouldn't have been able to do all of that, evangelism without having somebody there, and a couple of people there with him, supporting him and leaning on him. So it was kind of like two people coming together and making what we have now, like the faith, possible. If it was just him on his own, who knows, where we'd be today. But like having that person that you can lean on, like, yeah.
Yeah. I also want to bring up one that I really like, Ruth and Naomi. That one is really, really like cool. Like she didn't leave whenever she was widowed, and then but what's it called? Was it her daughter-in-law? The other one left. I don't remember.
I always get them mixed up. Like, I know.
But one of them left. But she was like, "Oh, like I'm gonna go wherever you go. I'm gonna stay with you." And it's like,
Because they're not thinking about themselves.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
thinking about the others,
Mhm.
and that's what true love is, what true
Mhm.
friendship is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
how can we see friendship as a gift from God? What makes friendship a gift from God?
I mean, God puts the friends in your lives. He also puts people who pretend to be your friend, but He essentially puts the closest people to you. He puts them in your life for a reason.
Mhm.
The things they do for you is the blessing. The way they are for you, they may not even do anything for you, but just their presence can affect you and want you to be a better person or bring you closer to God.
I
I
think
Yeah, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I think we have specific roles in friendships. Like, our friends have different needs when it comes to us. So,
Mhm.
like, if I have a friend that isn't Christian, I could bring them closer to God. But if I have a friend that's already Christian, not necessarily like bringing them closer to God, but like growing
Grow
together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I think God places us in in each other's lives for a reason, essentially, like to grow with God.
Definitely.
And I know there's a verse that says like, man should not be alone. Like we are God has given us these people and these friends, acquaintances to help us through our struggle. We already know that we're going to have a lot in our life. God already says that. And having having friends is the greatest gift. Having somebody that you can sit with, you may be having the most difficult time of your life, but that friend that can make you smile and laugh, or that friend that can make you feel homey and safe and comfortable, that's those are gifts from God, and that's the love that we feel in like fellowship and brotherhood. Like that's something that God has given us, not that we're like on an island by ourselves. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like also that's how Jesus like treated his disciples. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when I'd read in the Bible, it felt like, oh, like his disciples were just followers, but I forget that they were friends. Like they worked together, they were with each other in their vulnerable times. Like, especially before Jesus was arrested to go be crucified, he was with Peter. Who were the other two? There were two others. I forgot who. What was it? Jesus? I mean, not Jesus.
Going to get crucified?
Not going to get crucified, like before when he went to go pray several times.
On the mountain?
Yes.
Peter, John. Was it not all of the disciples?
No, I thought
No,
that-
it was only a few of them. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
it wasn't
Well,
all.
I
of them.
think a
Well, like, you get the
handful,
point.
you
You
know?
get the point. You get the
I don't
point.
know.
That like they were with each other when they were at their lowest. So
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. How would you place someone that's like a best friend? Because I know at least in our church they had a lot of discussions and topics about who your best friend should be and what kind of person they should be. So do you guys think you can have a best friend as someone that's gonna lift you up or someone that you're gonna need to lift up, or do you two have to be on the same page?
I go
same
ahead.
page. Same page for sure.
I think there's different times where you need to be either one. Like there's times where you have to lift up your friend, but there's also times where the friend is there to lift you up. And it's not like always 50-50. It's like whatever the friend needs at the moment.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I mean, I agree, but I also think we do have to be on the same page because like if I'm constantly lifting someone out, like I think I'd get tired of it. Like I
Yeah.
also
No,
want
I
to
get what
be
you're
vulnerable
saying.
with them.
Yeah.
So
And it could bring you down
exactly.
without you even knowing. A lot of people you'll adapt to the lifestyle of your
Yeah.
best friend and then end up going down the river.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know, with my friends I kind of want to not like copy them, but be like them, and they want to be like me. So I don't know. I don't want anyone that's gonna drag me down with.
Yeah.
That
I get what
sounds
you're
awful,
saying.
but like
Yeah.
That's
I would help them
reality.
up, but just not. You know, I need someone to help me up too.
What do you think, Max?
I was gonna say like, well, first of all, what's the best friend in your definition? Because best friend is such
I know.
a,
Yeah, it's
a,
kind
a
of
thing
vague.
that's thrown around, and we have no idea. Like we could say I have so many best friends, but like, do you really like?
Mhm.
Maybe you have one that's your best friend, but like,
That's what I'm talking about. That
So-
one person you have in your life that you would consider your best friend. If it's a girl
Yeah.
or guy, brother, it's your brother, your sister. Like
yeah,
that one person, what kind of person do they need to be?
I think they wouldn't be your best friend if they're not the right person or if they're
Mm.
not the person they need to be.
yeah.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but
No, I mean,
like
yeah, I think like it's hard for you to be best friends with somebody that maybe is not like doesn't have the same goals as you, or like doesn't your paths and doesn't align necessarily. Like if it's complete opposite, maybe I'm wrong, but like I feel like if you guys are both kind of on the same page, like she's saying, you guys are both kind of pushing each other, both maybe you might be at different levels, different steps along the way, but you guys are both have the same goal in mind, the same end vision. you know that's something that you guys can like see eye to eye, and that
Yeah.
affects every decision and every hangout and every conversation. If you guys are seeing eye to eye, every conversation you have will be for a purpose, versus somebody that like is your friend and he's like, or he or she is talking about like something random that isn't beneficial, or you know anything like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, just blank conversation for no reason.
so like seeing eye to eye affects everything else. Conversation, hangout, you know, plans.
That's fair.
How do y'all think we should, like, how do we glorify God with our friendships?
By being like Christ to them, treating them like Christ would, showing them his love, his compassion, and I guess, I mean, guiding each other to be like him, essentially live life like Christ.
What if both sides don't act the same way, I guess?
Like one person is and one
Yeah.
person isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
Which person am I? Am I
Yeah.
the one that's trying to be like Christ and my friend is
Yeah.
not about it?
Yeah.
I guess that's the question of the century. I feel like a lot of us do deal with things like that, especially in today's society. I feel like a lot of us are kind of balancing on the edge of what kind of people we want to be, what kind of lives we want to live. So friendships are changing because the people in the relationships are changing.
Mm.
So I think just keep them, try to keep them with you.
So to answer your question, your question, um, I was hearing something very nice, like a saying that y- we obviously do to others as you want to do to yourself. But if you really want to, show Christ in every action, you're not waiting for the reaction. Like me, my love for people and my love for others shouldn't be dependent on if I'm receiving the same love back. You know, checking on friends doesn't mean I don't check on him just because he doesn't respond to me or he doesn't, check on me. It's not, it doesn't have to, obviously we'd want a two-way street, but like that's not the way of Christianity. Our way is we're always doing something with no expectation of return. So like my love is not dependent. So like if I have a friend, and like I show him love and I check on him and I care and I all that, that's my goal. I want to show Christ, and that's all my priority is, and they may not be as close as they are with me because they're not checking on me, but that doesn't matter. I'm still showing like the same love to every friend equally because that's where my values are.
Mhm. Okay, at what point do you think it's okay to cut someone off if it's okay?
Good question.
When you can see them physically dragging you down, or honestly, I guess the better answer would be when you can see it in the future before you catch it.
Mm.
But not a lot of us, or a lot of us ignore it until it really gets to that point.
Mhm.
But when you see that they're taking you out of good habits and putting you into bad habits, making things seem acceptable and okay, switching you off, giving your life not no purpose, but living for them, living for the hangout, living for the memories. You're not living for God.
Yeah,
You're
I was
barely
about to
living
say
for
that, yeah.
yourself. You're not. It's just a waste. So at that point, and it's not like it's a cutoff. Like I'm
Mhm.
breaking up with you. We're done. No, it's just gradual like
Distance.
separation.
Yeah.
And you can have conversations with someone. You don't have to just cut them off and be like
Yeah.
they're not the right person. You can talk to them and try to get them to be the right person.
Just hang out less and like
But yeah, if it comes down to that, just
yeah, we were talking about that actually
Mhm.
on the way, and like, and I don't mean to interrupt you, like if you were gonna talk, but I was gonna say like you said, it's gradual, and you start to see, as you get older, and you may have been growing up with these friends all your life, but like people have different maturity levels, people have different goals, people go through different things that changes them, and like over time, gradually you guys just have different interests, and if they're leading you down a different path, you may not realize like after the 10th, 12th, 13th time that you guys go out, you know, go drinking or go whatever, but eventually you open up and you're like, what am I doing? Like,
Mhm.
yes, they're my friend, but this is not who I am. Like, you have to eventually see like, what am I? Who am I? Like, I'm not them. I'm myself. So that's where it comes, like, again, seeing eye to eye with your friends. Like, you eventually get to a point where you surround yourself with people that either you want to become, like you want, like their role models, or you become, surround yourself with good people that like you can relate to, but it's kind of gradual, like you said. It's not like all of a sudden I'm like, I like ghost him, I'm blocking them, like I unfollow them on all social media, and like I see them at church and I'm like, you know like I feel like that's the wrong way to do it, and that's the non-Christian way to do it. Like,
Let's talk about choosing the right friends. I know it's kind of the same area, but like, when do you know like not to be friends with a person if like you think that's okay to like just stay away?
I feel like you have an answer. You're like ready to go.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if they're acting like you kind of touched on this, but if they're acting different, like when you were saying how to choose a friend, if they're not acting the way you like, I don't know how to explain this. When you want to pick the right friend, I want a friend that's gonna like help me grow, not take me away. And I know we kind of touched on this, but like if they are taking me away from God, I kind of know like that's already a flag. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's probably not the best
But
person.
how do you know if you don't know them? That's the thing.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I kind of look through their feeds. I'll start stalking, like, okay, let's see their Instagram, their Snap, kind of get to know them before I talk to them. I won't do that.
I don't know.
I mean, what if it's like a spontaneous meet and you don't know that you're gonna meet them before?
I mean, I would still talk to them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just like shut them out because I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not going to look at them and be like, oh, we're not going to be friends.
I have a problem with the question, like
Mm-hmm.
that we're asking. How do I choose a friend?
It's
Like
kind
if I have to choose, like we're never choosing. Like friends happen. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm not like searching for the friend and like I'm like I see somebody and he's good. I'm gonna yeah, like maybe in a sense like I see somebody good and like I want to get closer to them, but like it's not like a checklist. Like if he doesn't match the boxes that I'm looking for, then I don't choose him or I don't choose her. You know, like I don't know. That's just my thought.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm down
I guess
to be
I worded
friends
it.
with like anyone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't really care.
But like I feel like what I'm saying is like in the beginning, like if you start to notice like they're
Mm.
not gonna be a good friend, what do you think?
Then you just don't make yourself vulnerable with them. You just don't show them that. It may sound bad to say, but you're not open to a better relationship with them. I guess if you see them again, say hi, bye, hi, how are you?
Mhm.
But you don't go out and make yourself available to them because then you're just making yourself open to whatever they have in store for you.
Yeah, I still I get what you're saying. I kind of in a not completely disagree, but like I don't think cutting off like in a sense the way you kind of made it sound is like cut off like
No,
hi bye like hi bye like you want to hang out after no bye
No, bye.
I got a dip like I have to leave like I guess my sense is if I see that this is like where I would challenge it like if I see the person that like maybe he or she's gonna do something wrong or like they have different interests and maybe their hangout is like let's go you know let's go out to downtown or something like that.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll be like, I'm down to hang out, but like, how about we go get some ice cream? You know, we just met. Now I'm kind of letting them know my values. Like, do they respect my values? Are they willing to become my friend and meet me there? Or do they expect me to meet me at like the Saya level, the like I'm gonna go, you know, get drunk? Is that where they expect me? Because I'm not gonna offer that. The person that I am is here. If you want to be friends with me, let's go out for ice cream. Let's go bowling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you don't just like straight away shut them off just because you see who they are.
No, I agree with you.
You know what I
100%. I think that's kind of what I meant. I guess I worded it wrong. And I'm not saying just cut them off, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting a vibe off of them that's not what they're into, like whatever your interest, they
That's
won't meet
true.
you down in the middle, then
Exactly.
Khalas. But no, if it's someone that can, like you said, bring themselves down to you to be your friend and go down to your level, that's someone worth being friends with them
Exactly.
because they're
Yeah.
putting you over them.
Yeah. Exactly. See, friends see eye to eye.
How would you sustain a friendship to keep it going? Like, we talked about if it's like okay to end it, but like, how would you make sure it keeps going? Like,
I think it goes back to the levels again. I think if it's an acquaintance, maybe check up every once in a while or just whenever you see them, you know? Like there's some friendships that are like low maintenance, I guess.
yeah.
So it's like different, you know? But if it's like a best friend and you talk to them like every single day and then it's just all of a sudden like something happens, you just start not talking, like then there's something wrong and you need to fix it.
I was gonna say like I think with any friends, it's important. Like yeah, obviously it's not realistic that you're gonna go down your phone list of 200 people and check on every single one
Yeah.
of them. You know, you have maybe 10, 15 that you check like once a month. Like within that month, you check on them. You know, but at least the other 50 people that you see at church, like when you see them, you're asking about them.
Mhm.
You know, like I like how can you be friends with somebody like you see them at church and like you're just like hi bye like if you get the opportunity even like 30 seconds like hey how's everything like yeah good like alhamdulillah it's good to see you, like let's catch up
Yeah.
that like 10 seconds is a sustaining, you know what I mean, like
I
versus like
agree with
hi
that.
bye, you
I
know.
agree with that because there's a lot of people at church on Sundays that people I'm friends with and people that we've done a lot of things together, but it's come down to the point where I always leave right after the liturgy, but I'll stop. I won't do the hi bye and I'll stop and I'll have 15, 20 seconds. Hey, how are you? What's going on? What's new? Blah, blah,
That's
blah.
enough, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that each time is enough to sustain the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do y'all like look for in a friendship then? Like, I don't know. The high buys, like I don't know. I kind of
I l- I look for genuinity, genuinity.
got you.
Yeah, that I look for a person to be genuine with me, honest. I like if I get a person that's fake,
Mhm.
that's automatic like red flag. Like I that 10 seconds, that 20 seconds is that person showing that they care. If the person says hi bye like 10 times and then when there's a social hangout and like all of that and all of a sudden they want to start talking, where's the genuinity? Are you actually like do you actually care about our friendship or is it more of just like when we're in a social hangout? You know, like that like genuinity is that person caring, checking on me. Even if they're busy, they still stop for 20 seconds. Even if they're busy in their life, they still text me every once in a while like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, like that's what I'm looking for. Like somebody that cares and like that wants something more than just like, you know, something on paper.
I look for friends that like catch me when I'm about to do something. You know, like this is so specific, but you know, like whenever you're talking to a friend and then like they just don't give their opinions. No, I need y'all to give your opinion.
Yeah.
And if I'm saying something, you're like, oh, don't say that. Or like, oh, that's like, don't think like that. Or, you know, fix it.
Uh-huh.
You know? But yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you need a friend that can criticize you, someone that will put you in your place,
That's
tell you
where
when
I
you're doing
couldn't find
something
it.
wrong,
Yep.
and not just that. I mean, help you
Mhm.
through it.
Yeah.
I need a good listener.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, you know those
Yes.
people who just shut you down. They're like, okay, yeah, haha. Like I didn't even finish talking, and they're just like moving on.
Yeah.
I can't have that. Like
Yeah.
even if like I'm a good listener, like I'll listen to them, but you gotta listen to me too. Like I want conversation, not like little highs,
Mhm.
how are yous, and then cut it off. Like
Yeah,
I need
it's-
someone to
communicate.
remind me to read the
Communicate.
Bible.
oh that too.
I was gonna say our relationship's not just about us. Did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
Okay. It's about we have to grow together with Christ. I know it
Mhm.
sounds cliche, but I mean it's reality. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
You have to find someone who's gonna help you grow, and they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the number one deacon in church, Sunday school teacher. Like
Mhm.
everybody loves him, comes to church every day, he knows the Bible. It doesn't have to be that. It's just someone who can help you be better. It can be someone you two are struggling with the same thing, or it can be something that someone's struggling with something else, but they're doing all right in this field. Someone that's actually going to care about that and
Yeah.
want to make you better and want to get you closer to Christ.
I was gonna say something on top of that, like to add on all of your stuff is like somebody that because I know some people that it's all about them. Like every conversation is look what I am, look what I'm doing, look who I am. Like I need somebody that also cares about me, that wants to have a conversation with me. Like so
Yeah.
somebody that listens, like you said. If they just expect me to listen and then they're like, all right, it was good talking to you, like I'll catch you later. I'm like,
Exactly.
did I just spend the last 10 minutes talking about him or her? Like I
And
didn't
it's
even
hard
say
to
how I was
catch
doing.
sometimes.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's hard to catch sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like you like catch it and you're like, wait, it's been 20 minutes. Like I haven't said anything about myself. Like they've never asked about
Yeah.
me, blah, 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 you know?
So how are you going to help yourself with your struggles if
Mhm.
they're not even opening up the topic? They're talking about only themselves. So that's also somebody that's like selfless, that actually cares. Like I said, genuine. So he's not just talking about himself or herself, you know?
Would it be selfish to want to talk about you though?
No, I don't. I think you're allowed
Uh-huh.
to, you know, but there needs
not
to be
all of
also a care. Like you're
Yeah,
not just
just
going
not
to
all
get
the
up and be like,
time.
all right, like if that's how it is every time, then that shows something about, you know, what you're getting out of that relationship. You're just getting somebody that you can have that has ears that you just want to vent to or, you know, get
Yeah.
up. Like, do you agree? Like,
Yeah, that's healthy to have. I mean, I don't think I get what you're saying. If you want someone, oh, they didn't ask about me, they're not talking about me, they're not doing this. It's it it's a little, I don't want to say selfish. Like, yeah, everybody wants to talk about themselves or talk about what happened in their life, I don't think it's necessarily selfish, just depending on to what extent you bring it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you just want someone, oh, this has been on my chest, I just want to talk about it, or I've been
Exactly.
feeling this, I'm just gonna explain it. But then, khalas, you don't be the person that's sitting there talking about your problems for 20, 30 minutes. Unless you're having one of those powwows,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
those special conversations.
Yeah.
But if it's just catching up, stop yourself.
Yeah.
Ask about them.
Mhm.
You know?
Exactly.
I was gonna say, when you were talking about like talking about yourself for 20, 30 minutes, I think it's fine when like if my friend does that to me, if I'm really, really close to them, because like I care a lot. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, tell me everything. But if it's someone I'm just catching up with, or like I just see every Sunday, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know you like that.
Exactly.
If it's like 30 minutes about them and then 2 minutes about you, like I
Yeah.
don't know, the ratios
What
are kind
bond
of
did
messed
that
up,
just
you know?
make?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What role does social media play? What do you think? How is it good? How is it bad?
In terms of what?
Friendship. Like,
In terms of what? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, okay, seeing someone's posts on Instagram or like, I don't really know another example, or Facebook
Like how
or something
should you,
else.
how
I was like,
should
I
you
don't get
be
what you're
friends with people on social media?
No,
No, no, no, like
well,
the
that too,
impact
but
of
the
it.
impact of social media. Like, if we
On
didn't have social media,
On
like, what do you
friends.
think?
I
Yeah.
have an answer. I think social media is the most detrimental things to friendships. And I think
Why?
it's just there's never a good positive and there's never a good I mean it's always either good, like maybe good and always bad. Because like no matter what kind of post, yeah, like it's their birthday, I'm going to do a nice post. It's a story, I'm going to do a nice story. But like there's always some kind of drama, always some kind of post that's like, wait, I wasn't there, or wait, they didn't tell me about it, or like, why are they taking a picture with them and calling them their best friend? Am I not their best friend? Like, how come their post had so many hearts and mine had one? Like those things. That's what I'm saying. There's never, like, I never see any positive about it. There's like a temporary. You make a post temporarily, it's good, but there's always something that happens, always a story or a post that always leads to some kind of beef or drama. So
Yeah.
it's like I think it's horrible.
That makes sense. It's because people show who they're closest with on social media.
Yeah.
So if you're always hanging out with someone, you're always gonna get posted on there. So say I went to a wedding and I took pictures with lots of people. I didn't take a picture with my best friend because
And
we
it's
just
like,
did it.
oh, like they took a picture with me, but they didn't
Exactly.
post that one.
Exactly.
So
Or I
it's
put
like,
his
yeah.
picture in the fifth collage.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I put someone else in the first
Oh
my
collage.
God.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So-
y'all do this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh, I don't know if the guys do this, but like when girls post pictures of each other, if they don't ask like, "Oh, can I post this?" They'll like slide up and be like, "I look bad in
My
this."
sister
Yeah.
does that all the time. I think it's the dumbest thing.
And then and they get in arguments about it. I don't want to take
Yeah.
it down. No, you have to take it down. Blah blah. You
Exactly.
don't respect me. Blah blah. Blah. You know.
It's because it's public image. It's
Yeah.
everybody wants to look the best they
Yeah,
can in
yeah.
front of.
I'm not gonna lie, I do it.
Yeah.
I gotta see the photo before it's up there.
It's normal. I gotta make sure my hair is like right. If I gotta, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When I'm at school, I'll hear like friendships getting broken up because they're like, oh, they had like so many nice pictures and they posted the one where I'm blinking in it, and like it'll become a
Oh my
whole
gosh.
thing where they actually.
I think that goes back to like not breaking up friendships over the smallest things. I think you need to work on them. If you truly care about the person, if you're truly friends with them, you need to find a way to like fix it.
I feel like if they cared enough, they would fix it.
Yeah.
But if they didn't care,
Exactly.
they just leave at the first
And
opportunity.
I was just about to say after that, like sometimes it does get exhausting if you're fixing it every single time. But like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it comes back to the genuinity. Like,
yeah.
is this person? Is it like? Can it break at any moment for the littlest thing? Or like, has this person built a connection with me that they care about me and we care about each other? And like, it's not the littlest thing that will break it.
Mhm.
You know, like, and that's what I'm saying. There's depth behind it. There's like meaning behind it. It's not just like I'm there just shallow, like just for myself, or like vice versa. You know, like
Yeah.
if there's actually like depth behind that friendship, it'll withstand storms and issues that happen. But if not, like it'll crumble the first minute it gets the chance to.
When my friends post on social media, this is kind of like tying back to what you were saying about being in the post or not. I get happy if I'm in it at all, but like I also don't hold it over my friend's head. But like especially the really close, like the friends that I'm really close with, if they don't post me, I'm just like, oh, it's fine, because like I know they love me.
Yeah.
But like
That's how it should be. Exactly.
yeah, but if it's I'm not gonna lie, if it's someone that I'm not that close with and they posted pictures with everyone but me,
Oh.
I'd get salty. I'd just be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we're not close like that anymore.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it to their face. I'd let it
Oh
go.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I would like take like personally hold it, just like okay.
Yeah.
And then the next time I make a post, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Purpose. That defeats the whole entire purpose of what you're getting mad at them for.
Hey, just making it fair. I won't do it next time, guys.
Just kidding, guys.
I've never done it. I've never done it. I'm just kidding. Okay, so how can we make friendships inside of the church?
I think involving yourself a lot. Like, a lot of my close friendships came from the retreats and stuff. I feel like I've gotten so close to these people because I've actually had to live with them and like deal through like it's like siblings, you know? Like you get closer because you're in the same environment for so long and you have to like deal with everything together.
I was gonna say, again, it's the sense of like treat people how you want to be treated. So like
Mhm.
you don't wait for somebody to come and ask how you're doing, who are you, like where are you from, you know, all of this like you do. Like if you expect that from others, like don't wait for, you know, you're gonna be waiting till the end of the world. Maybe you'll get one or two people. Like everybody's waiting and nobody's going and taking that step.
Mhm.
Like retreats are amazing, but even like Sunday school, like after fellowship or
Yeah.
after Sunday school, after liturgy, you see a new face or you see a face that you haven't talked to before. Like you go up and be like, hey, like I've seen you around. Like I didn't introduce myself. Like my name is blank. Like I've been living here. I serve here. I work here, whatever. And that spark, that conversation will like lead to like a friendship, you know?
Mhm.
But like if you just see somebody new and you're like, no, I'm shy. Like I'm not going to do it. Or like, no, like makasal na guy. And like, you know, how many times are you going to keep saying that, you know?
I think that's really important. Just talking to someone that you haven't seen at church. Because most of the people, or at least at our church, most of the people at church are people that we've been raised with or people that have come within the past couple of years. We've all built pretty strong relationships. But now that I think about it, we've had a lot of people come to our church from the past, maybe 10 years is a long time. I guess 5, 6
Yeah,
years
yeah.
that are involved in our church now. They're close with everybody as if
Yeah.
they've been here since 2002. And it's just because of the hospitality we give them, the relationships we build,
Exactly.
just the kind of the impression we put on them and what kind of people we want to live and what kind of people we are. So I feel like it's inspiring. Just as it's important to like build relationships with new people because
Mhm.
you never know how strong it can end up being.
And don't
Yeah.
keep making excuses. Like, you know, I feel like that's
Yeah.
the problem we get into. We don't make new friends because we keep making excuses. Excuses like I'm too shy or
Mhm.
like, no, not today. Like I'm not feeling well. Not today. I'm in a rush. Like I have to go somewhere.
I think that's why some people are like discouraged in the church. You know how
Mhm.
people are like distancing themselves because like they feel like they've been there for everyone's been there for so long. It's like why even try? Because they've built friendships over 5-10 years, and it's
Mm.
just like really discouraging.
That's kind of back to what we were talking about in the car though. People are going to church for
Dang, they had the
other
podcast
people.
episode, all of it in the
Oh
car.
yeah, no. We can add 2 hours to this whole podcast.
Go for it.
But no, we were saying how people are coming to church for the people, for the relationship they build with the people, which is all right.
Mhm.
I think the relationships you build in the church are tools and they're
Yeah.
help that is given from God, because again, friendships are given from God to help you with your salvation and that person's salvation. So you can't go to church and be like, nobody talks to me, I'm not popular, I'm not like, I don't walk into church and people are like, oh, hi, 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 hi. I'm like, okay, that's not your point for going to church. You're
Yeah.
going to meet God, and I guarantee God will talk to you. He will be the one speaking to you and leading you there. So it's just, I think 2024, I think in today's society, a lot of people have lost
Social skills?
no, not social skills, lost the point of what we're doing in church.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody's become more social and everybody's wanting to make friends. People love making new friends and new experiences, but they're kind of forgetting the whole point of it,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
in the church.
Everybody's image is tainted.
Yes,
Like
100%.
I also want to bring up the point of the service. I feel like that's made me so much closer to the church and so much closer to everyone who's in the service with me. I feel like it's given me also so many opportunities and stuff. Like one example is the hot meals for the homeless shelter. I feel like that's such a cool experience.
And like
Yeah.
everybody was there. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily only the people who were like friends with each other. Like everyone was there, just kinda helping them.
Doing a certain, like, we have the St. Verena homeless service in Raleigh, and like serving and seeing God's work being done, like, yeah, serving by yourself, sure, but like serving with others and
So
like
cool.
seeing God's work literally in front of your eyes, and like the fellowship, it's like a feeling you can't describe. It's like a joy and a love and a peace that you get inside of you, because not only are you with your brothers and sisters, but you are all doing what God intended you to do. Like, we're all doing God's mission, and we're seeing the fruit of it all together, like, for us to all benefit from. It's like, it's amazing.
I think it's beautiful.
This is kind of going back to the initial question. I completely agree with what y'all were saying, that we come to the church for God. But about the part about them making friends, another point is that they also need to, like, when someone comes up to them and starts talking to them, they also need to, in exchange, like, go talk to them a different Sunday.
Yes.
Because, like, they can't expect the friendship to form with one
It can't be one-sided, yeah.
constantly.
Exactly.
Like,
Of course.
but
Some people expect that.
yeah.
And that's the problem. That the first person made the action and he did it or she did it, and then the next time they're like,
he
oh,
didn't
but
say he didn't go up to me.
they didn't go up to
Yeah.
you. It's your turn. Like, it's not
It's
how
not
it works,
turns,
but at
yeah.
the same time, like, you know,
Like, they also got to consider what the other person's thinking. Like,
Exactly.
should I go annoy them? Like, they didn't come up to me. Like, are they going to get annoyed if I go talk to them again?
yeah,
So, I don't know.
you never
Yeah, I
lose
see
anything.
that side of that.
Even if it annoys them, like, you go do the right thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
10, 15 seconds, it could end up into 15 minutes. Or it it could be 10 seconds, and maybe they're either busy or they're not really interested in talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
How can friends support each other in their spiritual journeys?
I mean, I brought it up earlier. This is very small, but like you can remind them, oh, go pray tonight, go read your Bible, or like have a Bible study with them over FaceTime or something.
And on that, a lot of my friends, whenever I'm stressed, they'll send Bible verses relating to like stress. And it's so helpful. But I feel like if I didn't have those friends who are Christian, they would just tell me like, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's fine. But
Yeah,
those
just
verses,
study and it's
yeah, like for a test. Yeah.
Mhm.
And those verses are just so reassuring. Like, I think I need them to get through the stress. Like, every single time if I'm stressed, I always go to the same verse, Philippians 4:6. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, like, so to help each other on our spiritual journeys, there's kind of two ways I look at it, or two things that I do. Like, the number one is when we're with each other, I try to, like, obviously not all the conversations are going to be like this, but like, I try to add some like spiritually benefiting conversations, like, like, I don't know, any kind of conversations, like something that will open up a little topic, and maybe will lead to something, so that there's like, it's not just all like gossip and all like, oh, I want to do this and that. There's actually some meaning behind it. So, but the second one I think is very important is sometimes we're not open and we don't share like our struggles with each other. And like, you as your friend doing your part and asking them, like, occasionally I do my part and I ask the question. Sometimes it's the uncomfortable question, like, hey, like, like, how are you doing on your like spiritual, how's your spirituality, like, are you reading any books, like, um are you struggling with anything, just asking that question. Maybe they would be willing to open it up that day, and like doing your due diligence. When you open up that topic, sometimes they're like, you know what, like, man, now that you mention it, like, I'm really struggling, man. Like, and that right there, that just sparked it.
Mhm.
And then now, like, next time you see them, or whenever they were willing to open it up, you can check with them and be like, how are you doing with that? Like, I just want you to know, like, I'm available if you ever want to text me. If you ever need me, like, call me. But you doing your part and asking that question, they may not necessarily come up to you randomly and be like, hey, man, I'm struggling with this. You're like, okay. But as your friend, you're asking and checking on them. So, like, you know, it's not just gossip and random talking. There's value behind the conversations you have. Like,
I agree with that, especially when the friend you're referring to isn't as close to the church as you. Someone that's not, their relationship with God isn't as strong and as well built. It's
because
I
you are their source. Right there
exactly,
for-
exactly.
yeah.
And when you show them that you're vulnerable in talking about this, and you're showing them like, hey, yeah, talking about church, talking about God, yeah, this isn't anything to be embarrassed about.
Mhm.
Like he said, they may not talk to you right that moment, but when they're thinking about it, when they're in that situation and they're struggling, they'll remember, oh wait, this person, they were there for me. They asked me about this. They're interested in this about me. They seem like they would be able to help. So then the next time you go to them, you ask them, hey,
Exactly.
can you, or just ask, I don't know, anything, depending on what they're going through, but they'll know that you're there for them, and they'll know that if they need help in this field, in spirituality, in God, in Christ, in church, they go to you.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
it builds them. It builds you together.
And even the small things, like just praying without asking them,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
oh, how are you doing? Just like praying. It
Or
still
if-
makes such
Or
an
if they
impact.
like bring up like a struggle to you and you text them or you're on the phone, doesn't matter. You're like, oh, I'll pray for you. That's
Yeah.
just like so. I love when people say that. It's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to get into like hot topic
Let's
questions?
do it. I've
Oh,
been
I'm
waiting.
ready.
Okay.
I've been waiting to argue.
Okay, 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 okay.
Oh,
Ready? No, don't look at them. Stop.
sorry. Oh,
Okay. Can can people of opposite genders be best friends?
can I answer?
Why do you
Anyone.
put down the mic?
Absolutely not. Absolutely zero chance. People, and I don't know if this is, I mean, this is obvious, and I don't know anybody that doesn't agree with this hasn't had it happen, but anybody of opposite genders, they eventually, no matter whether another person is, you're completely unattracted to them, eventually, just every single time, 100% of the time, both of you will eventually have feelings for each other. So if your intention is not to get in that relationship with somebody, like with that person, then, you cannot be. The thing is, most of the time people marry their best friends. So how can you expect to be a best friend with somebody that you don't want to like have a relationship with? It doesn't make sense. Anybody that wants to have an argument, like I'm ready to go with. Like, let's go.
No, I agree. It just threw me off.
I agree with you to a certain extent.
Go ahead.
Or
I'm ready.
how about, let me say this. I disagree with you up to a certain extent.
Okay.
So I think
Oh, we got an argument.
in adolescence, yes. Or in adolescence, you can.
What's adolescence?
Like when you're growing up, middle school, high school,
Uh-huh.
maybe high school, maybe, depending on how mature you
Never
are.
had a middle school crush?
No, I have, but I also had a middle school girlfriend or a middle school best friend. Sorry, middle school best friend. That
That's
was
not
a
getting
girl.
cut. That's
That
not
was a
getting
girl. So I can chill. Cut.
It's on.
Chill. But no, I mean, I think up until you're old enough, up until when you mature and you really know how relationships work and how they should work, then don't have a best friend that's a girl. But I think that's hard because you're not gonna just cut someone off. But like,
How do you know when you reach that, when you're done with adolescence and you start catching feelings? You're not gonna like catch yourself and be like, okay, whoop, I'm done. Like,
no, I feel like
it just happens. That's the problem.
you're right. It does sneak up on you. It does sneak up on
Yeah,
you.
like
But I
you're
don't
just like,
think it's a
wait,
bad
now
thing.
I'm attracted. Like, what is going on? They're just my best friend. They're my sister. They're my brother.
No, you don't wait until that point. I think you wait until the point of where I don't know. I guess you can't really think about that before because it does catch you off guard because you don't
Yeah.
know. You don't
I
know.
I do agree with you in a sense. Like when you're younger, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Because you're not. No matter how close you may look to that
Yeah.
person, you're not thinking about them in that way. You guys may seem like you've been dating your whole life, but you're genuinely just friends. Now, when you grow up, and it's inevitable. Your body, hormones, emotions, all that stuff. You start thinking about them in ways you didn't think about them before because you grew up and you know more.
Exactly.
But I still think you can, depending on the person, how strong you are, you can get past it.
It needs a lot of discernment and a lot of self-control, and
You're right.
nobody in the
So
world
you're saying
has
it's
that.
not impossible?
I think it's impossible. I think you are asking for an issue. You're
Asking for trouble, yeah.
You're asking for trouble. Especially, let's say you happen to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and let's say I was as a boy and I had a girlfriend, and then I have a girl best friend. Like, absolutely red flag.
Yeah.
If you ever have a best friend with an opposite gender, you're not gonna get in a relationship with somebody that's okay with that.
You're
If
right.
they're okay with that, then that person's a problem.
You're 100% right.
So
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, like,
100% right.
then that's what I'm saying. Like,
Do you think they could be just friends, not best friends?
Wait. Okay. That's a good question.
Well,
Do you
just
think
friends
a
is
guy,
like just so many friends.
do you
Everybody
think
has.
a guy and a girl can be just friends?
Well, duh.
yeah, I mean, like,
Okay. I thought
Foodies,
that's what
right?
Maria was asking. I thought that's what Maria was asking. I was like,
I hope
okay.
we're not talking to that extent. to be
No, I don't
friends.
think. I don't think there's
Best
that's
friends
a
is different.
problem.
if
Best-
all your friends are the same gender, then that's a problem.
That's
Yeah.
You need to have. Then you're not gonna
No,
get. How are
okay.
you gonna? You know.
They clowning me behind the camera. I thought that's what I was asking.
No, I mean it's a good
No,
question.
it somewhat was. Somewhat.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
like the idea.
Okay.
That was
So
hot.
so y'all don't think it could be possible like whatsoever. Alex,
No.
did he change your mind?
No,
I
mean,
I got you.
I
mean,
understand. He's right. I
I
agree
can't
with
say
you.
that,
I
never
agree with you.
mind.
I do agree with you because I think it's inevitable for stuff like that to happen.
Pay up.
Come on, man. But I also think it's. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of fine print, so it's not fair to say it can't happen. So just don't do it.
I think
Don't do it.
unless you have discernment and you can judge whether this relationship will lead you into a wrong path. Like the thing is, even if your sister or your brother has the same, you see eye to eye. You're both going to church. You're both encouraging each other for tasbaha. Even if it's like at that beautiful spiritual level, you're still eventually going to catch feelings. It's just human nature. So like even if it's a person that's like encouraging you and is a good person, like it's the inevitable. That's the thing. That's what I'm looking at. I don't know. Do you guys agree? You guys haven't said much.
Because
A
we're
little
letting y'all
salty.
argue.
A little salty.
Why?
I don't like the response.
Why
Okay,
not?
let's hear it.
Well, no, I mean I agree with what y'all are saying. I don't disagree, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. I think you can be like close friends with them.
I think you can be close
Close
friends,
is
just not
different than best friends. I was
Okay.
about to
I
say
think
that.
you can be close friends, but not best
Because
friends.
I have
Okay.
friends.
What
I
is
have
close?
close friends.
Like it's like okay, it's not okay.
Family
so you know how
Actually,
you,
no, I agree. Close friends.
yeah,
Come on.
you know how Alex in the beginning said, "Oh, you have that one best friend." I don't think that one best friend can be the opposite gender.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. But like
Okay.
a lot
But
of
I
my
think they
close
can be
friends-
close friends. I don't think that's what Max was saying, though, is it?
But also, like, would you, just like a follow up question, would you and your close friend meet by yourselves?
No.
No.
Well, he doesn't
mean,
agree.
Okay.
Would
if-
you meet with that girl or that boy by yourselves and grab?
Yes. Yes.
How many
I'm
times?
thinking
Does
about
that
this
happen
too.
often?
No, it's not like you're going out for a weekly date or weekly this, but you're thinking about someone, hey, I'm in their city, let me hit them up. I don't think it's bad at all to go out solo with a boy or girl or opposite gender and go. Now, if you're making this a reoccurring thing, you're always going out to see each other, like that's different. You're doing it for a reason.
Okay.
But if I was to hit up like
You're single, right? Is that if you're single?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
I don't know. Here
You're
I'm-
not going out with somebody for
I'm
lunch
here's
and
the
you're
thing.
in a
Here's the
married
thing.
relationship.
Here's the thing. Say I have close friends that are girls, okay?
Okay.
Then I get a girlfriend. Time goes by. Am I not allowed to hang without that person?
By themselves?
One-on-one?
Yes.
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Do not hang out alone.
I don't. That's no trust. That's zero.
It's not about
trust.
trust. It's about like
Respect.
Respect.
You're gonna tell me respect.
No, it's about your discernment. Like, how can you justify?
So how do I hang out with that person?
In a
I have to
group.
bring my girlfriend. I have to bring her
No,
friends.
no.
No, but like
It's
you can
just
have
in a group setting.
hangout.
in a group?
Depending on what kind of relationship.
And you
have with
can
that
okay,
person.
and you can have conversations in the group, but it's not like you're there one-on-one with the person.
Yeah.
I can. The thing is, if I turn it back, what if your girlfriend is going out with one of your guys, like just for lunch? You're telling
Have
me
they been
that you-
friends before I
No,
knew
no,
them?
no. You're
Before-
telling me you're okay with that?
Yeah.
No way in a single
I don't
day.
think you. I don't. I think differently. I think differently. We're not really going into the spiritual track right now. I feel like this is just general.
Yeah.
But
Okay, but like there's okay, spiritually, like you need to have that like you need to have that control where you're like
Yeah.
you can't like cuz that's
Discernment.
yeah, there you go.
I personally don't care if they're going out for lunch or if they're going to like read the Bible together. It's just like you could do that in a group.
no, if
setting.
you're going to read the
that's
Bible, if you're
great.
going to read the Bible with my girl, that's a whole different. That's a whole different issue. No, I'd rather you take her out to dinner.
I don't mean like
You said take her out to dinner.
Yeah.
No, okay. So, yeah, I don't think they could go out one-on-one.
no, I'm just trying to like
I
get all the
think-
basics.
okay.
Like just no.
I don't think they can go out one-on-one even if you're single.
Even if you're both single.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
So you're
like,
saying girls and guys can't be friends?
no,
No, they can.
They
So
can,
they
but
can be
it's
friends
like
with other people.
if you're what do you mean?
What?
You can be friends together if other people are there.
No, I'm saying okay. Here's
Mm.
it's we okay. You can't like schedule times to meet.
So it
That's
has-
weird.
I don't agree. I don't agree just because you're putting effort into seeing someone, into hanging out with them, and just because they're a girl, like makes it any different.
You're treading on water, bro.
No,
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's like
I don't understand.
I
it's
think
like
once-
what's the line here?
Would you personally do it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where do you draw the line?
Never mind.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's what I'm
question.
saying.
Will you go out at night? Will you meet at
No,
night?
no. Well,
Is it
no.
only in the daytime?
It's not like yeah,
Is it
pretty
on-
much, yeah. It's not like you're gonna take them out to dinner. I'm gonna take you out to lunch. Let's go get food. Let's go down this street. Let's go walk. Like friends, I don't know. I feel like that's
Okay.
making memories. You can have that and not be intimate. I can do that and not have feelings for this person.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
never in a
I think it would
million years would I
progress.
see myself with this person.
Okay,
It would
I don't
progress,
think they
though.
can do, but I think they can like do stuff together one on one, like a church project, or like
Okay, yeah,
if you
that's fine,
find
that's
yourself
fine.
like like let's go pick up masa and donuts for church, and you take a friend. I think that's fine.
But I'm talking about like
But it's
just
like,
going to get
just-
dinner like over and over again. I feel like it would progress.
Over and over,
Yeah.
100%.
But like I'm not saying over and over like every week, like even monthly.
I
I don't know,
still
it's
disagree
weird.
with
It's weird.
with your perspective. I don't know.
I don't know. I want to
think
give you
it's-
examples, but I
think
don't
it's
want to drop
dangerous.
names.
I think it's dangerous.
It is
Don't-
dangerous. You're right.
Fill
but
in
it
the
also-
names.
Yeah,
I-
don't
I
add to
can't.
Oh, you can't. Never mind. Okay.
I think none of us are wise enough or have discernment enough to be able to do that. That's the problem. I don't think we have enough self-control. I'm speaking for myself first. Like I don't think I have enough self-control that like I could just go with somebody and get lunch just like that. You know what I mean? Like I mean, obviously now I'm married, it's easier. But like my point is, if I was just like a single guy, or like that's hard,
You can't just go out to go out.
and not catch feelings over time.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Well, you're
Guy-
saying over time, like this is a constant thing. Like once
Okay,
every
but
3
what makes it not constant? Like,
Wait.
because you're putting boundaries. You're not asking this person. Like, yes, I enjoy spending time with this person,
Mhm.
so I'll go. Yo, let's go get lunch. Real
Yeah.
quick. Right.
Okay,
so
but,
I'm not
like-
like saying next week this was fun. Let me do it again. Let me do
What
it
if
again.
what if they
Let me
hit you
hang.
up?
No,
Yeah.
no. That's where you have to draw a line. If you're there, like me
So you're-
personally, I will say no.
You're trusting in yourself to have that self-control
As
and
long,
discernment.
yeah. I mean, the other person, depending on the relationship, should be on the same page. That's why you enjoy hanging out with them, 'cause
Yeah.
you understand where you should be.
I understand.
But you're not gonna go hanging out with a girl that you know is gonna fall for you, because then you're gonna be putting yourself in a situation, or you're not gonna be hanging out with a girl that you know you're gonna fall for. Like, yes, things happen, without you even knowing. You just hang out with someone, and all of a sudden you catch feelings. But if you put boundaries and you stop yourself, I think there's a healthy way to do it.
I think
Now, when you get a girl, that's a whole different story. It's hard.
the last thing I was gonna say, I think this is like you're talking about like a 2 out of 100 kind of thing. Like
Unfortunately.
98% of the people will not be able to do that. Maybe 2% of them will be able to set boundaries. But I can tell you, if I'm friends with a girl and like we're good friends, if they hit me up to hang out, I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna be able to set boundaries.
I was about to say like I'm such a people pleaser. Like if someone asks me to hang out, I'm gonna want to go. So with them, like I don't want to tell them no.
Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes it happens though. I mean, sometimes people just they hang out.
I think someone in the back had a question. What if they develop over time, then talk through the process? Okay. Oh. What if they develop over time? Sorry, I didn't.
Well, that's
mean,
kind of the whole problem we're talking about. That's the
You
whole
mean your
issue we're
friendship
talking
with
about.
them?
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
guess he's saying if our relationship over time just ends up being emotions, like you're both attracted to each other.
Then you're marrying your best friend.
I guess. I mean,
That's how it is.
from everywhere you'll consider. Huh?
Oh,
He said, "What if you're meeting and one party falls for the other, but the
Oh,
other is
man.
still neutral?"
then that's when you get in those situations where
That's
like
tough.
the person's like, I like you, and like, whoa, like friend zoned instantly. And then the friendship is never like it used to be.
Mhm.
I was about to
That's
say that
unfortunate.
Friendship's
Yeah.
over.
It eventually reaches that point, and that happens. People think, "Khalas, we're best friends," like,
Maybe
I
I
should
should
ask
shoot
her
my
out.
shot. I feel comfortable trying this.
and then you ruin the friendship.
So
That's why it's clear to have the intentions clear from the beginning. We are friends, we're sisters, we're brothers. But if it's not clear from the beginning, if you guys are like you can catch those little things, like the hands, the actions. You can catch them. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Oh, I know.
over time it kind of builds up,
I like
The extra emoji, the how are you doing, whatever.
Okay, are y'all ready? We're done.
We'll fight outside.
Okay.
We got a whole 2-hour car ride home.
Oh.
film it.
Uh-oh.
Oops. Okay. Next question. Can
I
people?
mean, let me ask it.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Sorry, you asked the first one. Can people with a what? Who wrote? Okay. Can people with a large age difference be friends? Is it a? Do I need to mention?
Can people with the like? Can people with large age gaps be friends? Say 20-year-old, 40-year-old, or like 18-year-old, 20.
What the heck?
No, it's okay.
I know what you mean.
No.
I know what you mean.
Okay, but like, okay, this is a Sunday school topic, and we were talking about it. I don't know. I feel like okay,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
keep going.
Okay, can they be best friends or
No.
close friends?
No.
No.
No, absolutely.
Okay,
That's
why
so
not?
creepy.
Absolutely not. 20
Okay.
to 40, 20 and 40,
No. Okay, no, maybe not the dramatic. but
21
like,
to 26.
maybe like 8 years or something.
maybe.
23 what? 32 and 25.
Yeah.
Same
yeah.
same gender.
Oh.
Let's not complicate things.
Yeah,
Same gender?
Yeah.
No, I think you can definitely be friends with. I have a ton of friends that are older than me.
Okay,
And-
but like best friends.
No, absolutely, not absolutely. I don't think having a best friend that's older than you by that much is realistic, because you guys are in different steps in your life. You guys are in, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't. It just something about it seems off. I don't think like it. I don't know if it's like has to do with like something like Christian related, but like it just doesn't seem realistic that your best friend is like 39 and you are 25. I found something feels off about that.
I also feel like with that, the stages of life are so different. Like the older person has already gone through everything. So
Yeah.
it's like more like a mentor and like what's the other one?
Exactly.
Yeah, a mentor and
Mentor and a
relation.
mentee.
Yeah, there we go. Relationship other than like friends. Because it's like if you're going to talk to them about something, they experienced it like a hot minute ago. So it's like,
Yeah. How are
you
they
know,
supposed to relate? And
like
they're
how
more
are they supposed to
mature.
relate? Yeah.
But I was also gonna say that I feel like you can be friends, just not necessarily best friends. Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are like close
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
Just best friends pushing it.
What if it's like a family member? I know
Oh,
I know
that's
we brought this up in Sunday school. What if it's like, you know how some girls are really close with their aunts and it's
Yeah.
like the single aunt with no kids and she's like real
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right? Like, do you think that could be an exception?
I don't think there was like
No, that's different though.
yeah.
We're talking about best friends though.
No. I mean,
I still don't think. I think there's a benefit with having somebody your age, your
Mhm.
friend. You guys are going through the same struggles.
Yeah.
It may be school. You're not gonna ask a person that was 38 what advice he has for online yani class yani, or like
Yeah.
how are you dealing with this like new thing that we have at school. Or my point is like you guys are in different steps in your life. So
Mhm.
what the problems and the stuff that he's going through or she's going through at that age is different than you. So like that's the that's the other point. You seeing eye to eye, like you guys both need to be kind of going through the same struggles, kind of in the same page. I'm not like, whether it's relationship advice and stuff like that. I do think though family, like when it comes to family, like that's normal. I think like sometimes we have aunts and uncles that are like, maybe 10 years older than us, and like family bond is completely different. Like
Mhm.
they could be your best friends just because like you love them so much as a family member.
Yeah.
I think that's normal. But I don't think having a best friend, or like I think it's you kind of draw the line as a friend.
Mhm.
Maybe not even a close friend, because like how are you going to have all your friends that are your age and then invite a 40-year-old?
Yeah.
Like not there's nothing against that person. That person may be your friend, but like the person's going to come give the check and he's like, "Is this for your dad?" You're like, "No, like this guy's my friend."
Yeah.
Like
I get
that's
what
so
you're saying.
awkward.
Yeah.
I think back to that example with the aunt, I think that person would also have a best friend. It's
Mhm.
like the aunt and then there's another one their age. So I don't think so
I
either.
mean, are you personally best friends with your aunt?
Good
Just
question.
checking.
No,
Even
but
if
like
you-
I've seen it happen. Not best friends, but like close friends.
but do you think your aunt wouldn't have a best friend as well? Or do you think her best
No,
friend
I
is
think she
her
would have a friend.
20-year-old niece? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you get friends.
She's just playing the part for it.
I mean, I'm just imagining it like
Yeah.
all the 18.
Yeah,
You're
also
18, like does an 18
yeah, the aunt's perspective, that's kind of like she has not yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say there's another perspective of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, and this is like a little deeper, but I think having somebody that's your age, it gives you the opportunity to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Having that person that's a little older, in a sense, is kind of babysitting you. Like, man, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, and that hinders your growth.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That hinders your experiences, your growth. Like, you say this, you order this, you have kind of, in a sense, your dad or your mom next to you. Like, man, you shouldn't do that. That's not right.
Mhm.
That's different than your friend telling you don't do that. That's like the older person telling you, like, don't do that. Like, I'm older than you. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, that's you kind of, that's you becoming a little bit of a child. Like, you're back to when you had mom and dad with you.
Yeah.
Those, I know those are, that's like a small example, but any big example. Let's say I bring him to go buy a car and he's making all the shots. He's calling all the decisions. Where's my growth? Or I'm buying a house and like I'm asking these questions, but he steps in and he does everything. That growth right there, the opportunity for me to learn got taken away because he took over.
Mhm.
So like,
You end up just relying on them.
yeah, and like that's the point. That's why having somebody side by side, your experiences, your knowledge, your learning is different than me, like because we're at the same level.
Mhm.
That person that's 40 years old has already gone through everything I'm going to go through in the next 10 years. So like they're going to take over.
Yeah.
When do y'all think at what point is the age gap too big? I don't think you can really draw a
I was
line
gonna
on
say
it,
I
but
don't
like
I wouldn't say age.
what-
Like,
no, not
experiences,
age, but like
maybe.
when do you like? I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying.
No, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. Do you have an answer?
5 years.
Really?
5.
I guess that's kind of realistic. 5
Yeah.
to 10.
10.
Okay,
10
no,
is a
I
little
would
bit
see,
too
like,
much.
I
I
think
would
10
say
is
8.
pushing
10 is
it.
crazy.
But 5 you can have friends like that.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
example,
I do.
is the age difference
I
right
do.
now 5 between you and me?
How old are you?
27. You're
Yeah, 21.
okay,
6
so
years, yeah.
you know what I mean? But like we won't necessarily go out and hang
Exactly.
out, but we will have conversations.
Mhm.
But it's more of like a mentor mentee, I don't know, in a sense.
Kind of, yeah.
At
yeah.
least like,
Chef next to kid.
I'm sorry. But I mean
No,
like
you're right though.
you
You're
know,
right because I would look up to you. I
I'll
know
come
you.
dap you up, I'll come talk to you, but like my point is we're not gonna be like, hey, you wanna go out?
Yeah.
Like that's rarely gonna happen. I mean no, I mean you can
Dang.
come out, bro. It's like, dang. I was like, yeah.
No, but he's right. He's right. It definitely makes sense.
So 5
Just-
years, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
But 3 years definitely is your friend.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
Under 5 years, like
Especially as you're getting older, the age difference just becomes smaller. Like a 3-year age difference between like a second grader and a fifth grader is much different than a 3-year age difference
Yeah.
between a 21-year-old and a
Absolutely.
24-year-old.
I think maybe after 30, 35, it doesn't really matter age difference. In
I
friends.
think in your 20s, it's like starting to really like.
Well, no, 20s. You're still
Okay,
maybe late-
sorry.
I think we offended them.
maybe late 20.
No, I'm not saying y'all are old. I'm sorry.
I'm 21. I'm the beginning of my 20s.
I'm saying like the age difference starts to like disappear because I feel like a lot of it comes from the elementary and middle school grades,
Mhm.
high school too. But that's what's the separation is. And a lot of people when they're younger, they don't have friends that are like more than a year older. So
That's because they're sheltered that way. At least in the church, and I guess at school,
That's
you
true.
keep your grade together. At church,
Yeah.
you have your Sunday school, and your Sunday school becomes your friends. So
Yeah.
you just hang out with your friends.
Mhm.
And then as you grow up, I mean, you realize people. I mean, I think we all know that just because you're older doesn't mean you're more mature.
yeah,
Someone's mindset can be
for sure.
much less mature than you when even though you're younger than them.
For sure.
So it really doesn't matter about age. I mean, some of my best friends are 4 years older than me, and I see them all the time. So just depends on where they are.
do y'all think you just outgrow people, or has that become a common culture?
To outgrow? Wait, you can go.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
outgrow people.
I was gonna say I think you can outgrow people. You just outgrow them. Nothing
100%.
to it.
How?
One gets more mature than the other. Like people mature at different rates. So like
Mhm.
some of my friends matured way way faster than I did. Like I didn't hold it against them. Like, oh my gosh, you're way more mature than
I'm
me.
not saying like hold it against them. I'm saying like, do you get further apart as you grow
Yeah.
older?
Yeah.
Like, or is that has just been a common culture of like cutting people off?
I mean, I don't think they do it on purpose. Like, if I mature faster than someone else, like I'm not doing it on purpose, like to try and like cut them off. Like it just happens. Like I just matured faster than them.
Mhm.
But like we just distance ourselves because we're not at the same level. We don't relate to the same things.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would cut someone off because I outgrow them, and I don't think anyone does.
I
like
was
that.
gonna say like, and that's what I said earlier. Like you grow up with friends, and you may have a really close group of friends, but like she said, one of the things is maturity level, and like it could be a number of things. Like you grew up with that person, but that person everybody has different experiences. They go through different things that change them. They have different maturity levels, you know? And some people, the things that they did 10 years ago, they're still doing. And like you are on a different page now. And sometimes those experiences that they dealt with or they had to go through change them completely and they're not the same person at all. You know, so like in a sense, like we said earlier, it kind of gradually happens. You kind of outgrow them. You're still friends with them, but like that friendship that you had maybe 10 years ago is completely different now because they're not the same person and you're not the same person. You know what I mean? Like maybe your values have changed and maybe they're still doing the same funny, corny things that you did before,
Mhm.
you know, and like it's just different things and you're not seeing eye to eye anymore. Like, I think that's what you and me were talking about in the car. Like,
Yeah, it's exactly what we were talking about in the car.
What, the outgrowing thing?
Yeah,
Or yeah.
pretty much like the closest people to you when you were growing up. That was like your group. That was your clique.
Mhm.
And then as you grow up, you change what you're doing in life. It
Mhm.
usually starts with school. That's usually like the biggest thing that changes you and puts you in another path where you want to do or what you want to do in school, or if you even
Yeah.
want to go to school. And then after that, when you grow up, you go through different things. You're isolated and you focus on more of what you want to do. You want to bring your relationship with Christ stronger. You start to change your morals and your values and stuff to the better. And then you see some people are still doing the same exact thing that they've been doing.
Yep.
Or even worse, they're doing something worse. Like they change for the worse. So you have to let that go.
Yeah.
You have to go off them.
like you find friends, it could be you had a group of 10 friends like growing up, and then maybe by the time like you're like 20 in your mid 20s, that number is like down to two close friends. You know what I mean? The other 8 friends are still friends. It's not like there's bad beef between you guys and like, you know, there's no like, you know, grudges necessarily. But it just like you guys, those 10 friends, you guys used to go like have parties and do all of that when you were 18, right? Now you're 20s and those 8 other friends are still doing it. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know, those 10 friends, you guys used to go to Tazbaha, and then when you're in your mid 20s, only 3 of you are doing it. So like that's my point. The values change. Like your goals change. The older you get, the more responsibility and more decisions you can make. So their decision is I'm gonna do this. Our decision is I'm gonna do this. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like it gradually happens that you outgrow those 8 people and those 2 people you grow closer to and more the relationship is so much stronger, actually.
Can someone of a different religion be your best friend?
Can I before we move on to that one, I wanted to address like the cutting off, like
Oh,
cutting
yeah.
off people,
Uh-huh.
because that's kind of related to that. Is like, I think the worst thing we can do is yeah, it's gradually out like you're growing out of people, but like the worst thing we can do is cut off those people. Like those friends that I was close to, it's so much worse that like you start ghosting them, you start not responding to them, you start seeing them and you avoid them or give them like a side eye. That's the non-Christian way to do it. That's not what outgrowing people means, is that you cut them off. You are not showing love to your brother anymore or your sister. You're doing the opposite. You are that person now, you are holding a grudge whether you like it or not, you know, and you're actually doing hate, not love. So like we need to be careful like when we were close to somebody and we're kind of taking a step back. That doesn't mean I ghost them. They text me and I respond with okay, hey, like one words. Like no, you guys are still friends. At the end of the day, you're still friends, but it's different. You're not gonna go out with them every week. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree. Like that's
I do. No, I do. Sorry, I forgot.
come on.
Okay. What was okay? Can people of different religions be your best friend?
Mike.
We never answered it.
We never answered it.
No. If you're gonna say best friend, then no. Unless you're planning on converting that person, then absolutely not.
Should you go into a friendship planning on converting someone?
No. Well, no. You shouldn't go into a relation or a friendship hoping to turn that person because you may be disappointed and it'll hurt you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't be friends with people who are different religions. But I think we're all open-minded enough about that. I don't think anybody is stuck on no Christian only, Coptic only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're very
I
open
think
with
you
other
can be
people.
friends, just not best friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, best friends, that's where we draw the line again. I mean, you can't have it with the opposite sex, then you can't have it with someone who's not going to share the same values as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like best friends is like I said, you only maybe have 2 best friends in your life or 1. you know, and you could have a very close friend that's a different religion. I don't disagree with that. Like I know people that like, for example, they're really close friends with a Muslim people, and their Muslim friend, like they will be fasting like Lent, and
Yeah.
their Ramadan may not be, it may have already passed,
Mhm.
but that person out of respect for them would like, eat Siami food,
Mhm.
or vice versa. Like I'm a Coptic friend and the person is doing Ramadan. I respect their fast and I don't eat with them.
Mhm.
I will maintain the fast with them and eat with them at the end. You know what I mean? Like that respect, that person, it doesn't matter whether what religion we are in. We both have a mutual respect for each other. Even to the point that I am willing to take up your religion in a sense, not your religion, but I'm willing to fast with you out of respect for you as a friend,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, I think it's very crucial to say if you're going to have a close friend or be a friend with this religion, a person of a different religion, you need to have discernment. If you're the kind of person that's easily like convinced, is more of a follower, if you are close friends with somebody and you're just like following along, like you follow along, you're like, yeah, let's go to the mosque now, مش مشكلة.
Mhm.
And then little by little you start wondering, you start doing this and that, right? That's what I'm saying. It's completely okay to do that, but like there has to be discernment, because if you're just like going with the flow, you know, you're asking for like a disaster, you know. But I know so many people that have really close friends with other people religions, and I'm friends with other people like, yeah, a couple people that are atheists, a couple people that are Catholic. It doesn't, Buddhist. It's not. That's not necessarily like I can't be friends with them. But best friends is like that's. I think that's too far. I think
Yeah.
that's too risky and like I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's the person you're like trusting to build you up, like through
exactly.
everything. So I feel like if they don't share the same values,
Hmm.
it's going to be hard to build each other up, especially if Christianity is going to be a big part in your life. Then if the other person doesn't share your main value, then it's just not going to work out.
And their way with dealing with things that you will bring up to them may not be the same way
Yeah.
a Christian should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you're dealing with this, they're like, "That's okay, man. Let's go 6 days in Cancun and forget about it." You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with them and with that in their religion, but like that's not the way that we should be dealing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
Okay, this one's kind of similar. Do you think someone of a different sexuality or someone part of the LGBTQ community can be a best friend or close or just a friend in general? Let's
You're up first.
Friend in general, yes.
Okay, what about
100%.
best
We
friend?
we learn as Christ, or we learn from Christ to accept everybody. Doesn't matter if you're blue, red, green, gay, straight, curvy. Doesn't matter. Love everybody as your friend. I don't know. I thought straight, so I don't know.
Yeah,
That's good.
no, I get
But
it.
but love everybody. But again, I mean, I feel like we've answered this 1,000 times. Your best friend should be someone who you see Christ in.
Mhm.
It should be
Yeah.
someone that you're looking up to, someone whose lifestyle, they don't have to be perfect, of course, but their lifestyle and their end goal needs to be something that you would want to be. So to have a best friend that's a different sexuality and has different morals, one, that's a different religion, because that's not Christianity. No matter how many people try to argue it, Jesus loves the gays. Yes, he does love the gays, but he doesn't accept them like in the kingdom of heaven. Of course, there's exceptions. You know, I'm not a buna. I can't speak on that, of course, but
Yeah.
and it says it in the Bible. So to have someone like that as your best friend, you're saying you accept it, you support it, and you're okay with it. And yes, don't judge someone, support them, don't criticize them for it, but don't stand with them, if that makes sense. Being their best friend, and that being their best friend doesn't mean just being there for them and showing a friend and showing them compassion. It means
Mhm.
being best friends, sharing lifestyle, making
Yeah.
memories, having experiences with each other, being, you know, close to the same people. So you can't do that with someone who's doing something completely against what God's will was.
I think this goes back to who your best friend is. Like I feel like a lot of people choose best friends depending on similarity. Like they become close because they're super similar or you find yourself saying the exact same things or stuff like that. And I feel like if someone is super super different, it's not going to work.
Yeah. I was gonna add to that is that just like with the religion, you have to be so firm with your faith. You know what I mean? Like you can't sway. The foundation of your faith is not going to move. So if you're gonna have a if you're gonna have a friendship with somebody that's a different religion or somebody that's in the LGBTQ community, the foundation of your faith will not be shaken. It will not change. And also the second part of that is there needs to be at the same with your faith being firm, there needs to be a respect between each other. That person knows your values. He knows she or he knows your religion stands for and what you believe. So if they're willing to respect that and take that and not be offended by it, then that's good. You're friends with them. That person that's in the gay community, they're gonna understand. Like, listen, man. Like, I love you as a friend. You're a great brother. I just want you to know, like, this is my values, and I hope you're not offended by it. And if they're like that's completely fine. I understand, man. That's okay. I'll see you at work tomorrow. You don't have to come to the gay party that we're having, whatever it is. Or we're going to, my Muslim friend invited me to a party, whatever. I don't know. All these different things.
Yeah.
If there's a respect between each other and they respect your values, like, I think it's okay to have a friendship with them, but
Mm-hmm.
best friends is you had to have somebody that sees eye to eye with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna also say that you have to be spiritually mature if you're gonna be like such close friends with them, because I feel like if like we're not, we're just gonna sway them even further away from God. Like if we say the wrong thing, or if we do the wrong thing, they're gonna be like, okay, well, if they're doing that wrong, it's okay if I do this wrong.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's very important, and also having them as a best friend, like they're looking up to you. So
Mhm.
I think that would be really hard to maintain.
Yeah.
There was a question that you and like I can also ask the question back again is like, somebody asked, do you go into a friendship to bring the person closer
Close
to God?
yeah.
What do you guys like think about that?
I don't think so. I feel like if that's your goal, then I feel like, okay, I feel like if you're in the friendship already and it comes up, I feel like you're seeing someone's like go further from God, then obviously you try to bring them closer because you're already friends. But if you're finding people to convert, like that's really weird. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I find that strange. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. Like
Yeah, if
just
if your
choose.
one thing is like, oh, like I want to be friends with them, I want to convert them. Like that's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that. I think that's an extent though. I think it's
Hmm.
when you meet someone and you start to become friends with them, it's like, can I help them? Can I be am,
Yes.
am I a gift that God can send to, help them in anything, support them, encourage them, do whatever. Now it's not necessarily breathing down their neck and
Yeah.
making sure like, hey, are you going to this? Are you doing this? Did you do this? But it's just
I
don't
also
know.
feel like presentation, how you present Christ, like is
Yes.
a big thing.
Mhm.
Like someone mentioned this on an earlier podcast, I can't remember which episode, but they said there was like this table at a function selling lemonade, but while they're making their lemonade, they talk about Jesus, and someone that came up to that table became a devout Christian. And then another table, they were preaching in their face and yelling, and then they become the exact opposite, and they're like just
hate
completely against God, or like,
Yeah.
So I feel like the way you approach it is very big.
To add on to that, like, for example, like Alex was saying, like, I could have like an atheist friend that I just like coworker that I know from church, and like little by little they see me doing certain things, you know, like like a nasty, inappropriate joke is said. Everybody laughs, but I don't. Or we're eating at barbecue and I'm eating something vegetarian. Their eyebrow kind of gets raised. Or the way I'm acting, the care that I'm showing, the kindness I'm showing.
Mhm.
Little by little, those people see those things, and they come and they get curious, and that happens so many times. People at work that like have no business, and they're atheists. They haven't gone to church since they were like 5, and they'll come up to me and they'll ask me like, "Hey, like I heard you're in like the Coptic church. Like I was curious to know." And
Yeah.
you're not going into that friendship with that, but they see your action, like you're saying, you're presenting Christ to them, and those little things, those jokes that you don't laugh at, the vegetarian meals that you eat, those little things bring people closer to Christ. And unintentionally you're showing Christ to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I agree. I don't think you should go into it
With that intention.
yeah, with that intention, but if it happens, it happens. If it's God's plan, it happens, Like you show Christ through your actions, and if that attracts someone, then yay. If not, then you shouldn't like you said, breathe down their neck and like
Yeah, I think it's still good to ask the question. Like I say, I always think asking a question is a good thing. For
I think,
example,
yeah.
my atheist friend, I like just like very subtly,
Mhm.
subtly we're driving to driving to the work site. Subtly ask the question. Like, or I talk about like, yeah, I was going to church. Maybe he asks a follow-up question to that. And he's like, oh, like, what do you guys do at church?
Mhm.
Or maybe I don't even have anything to share, but I asked the question. So like, or like, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of churches that are beautiful here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those like subtle little things that you drop are an opportunity to start a conversation.
I agree.
I don't think we should be completely like, I'm not going to open it up
No,
out
no,
of
no. I
respect for,
agree.
you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't think you should go into the friendship with that intention. Like, yeah, invite them to church or something. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like going into that friendship with that attention is just,
Well, we do have to save people, right?
yeah, we do. But it's like, I don't know.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think
I
if
don't see picking. Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
you're good. Go ahead.
I don't see picking out people and trying to convert them as like
Yes.
what we're meant to do. I see like
I agree.
find the opportunities like
you're
and
put in
take
it,
it. Yeah.
I think a lot of times people think of it as like a mission of trying to bring people, or they'll see themselves as someone appointed to keep like to bring people in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're taking away the whole point and the whole focus of what they're doing, just to like it's like they're marketing. They're just marketing people to a church, like it's a fundraiser or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it completely defeats the purpose of it.
I just want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
I agree that we're not here to just market our faith,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, we are called to save people and to spread God's word. So I don't think we should like shun that mission, shun that responsibility. It is a mission. God has given it to us. Yes, we're not just walking around with a flyer like, yeah, join our church, thank you, bye. Like that's not how it is. That's not our faith. Yes, I'm showing Christ in my workplace, in my school, in my job, whatever. But at the same time, like if you see somebody that is lost, you have an opportunity and you should try. If you do not try, you're covering your eyes on your brother's sin. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times that's what we do. We see somebody that is lost and we're just like, I don't want to offend them. Hasal khair. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see anything. The person's cursing. The person like is gay, whatever, and I'm completely just accepting it. And like they're doing that. It is what it is. I'm not gonna even try. Like I think we need to make that clear because like I feel like a lot of the times we're like, that's not meant for me. Let me just take that off. That's not who I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's for other people to deal with. I'm not an evangelist. I hope that's like, I don't know. That's
I
what,
agree with you. No. I think I worded that wrong. You said it right. It is a mission.
yeah.
Like St. Paul, it is a mission to go out, preach to the people, and bring them in. I think
Yeah.
some people just take it a little extreme.
Yeah.
Like
they are
Again,
St.
approach
Paul.
is
I
really
agree.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the best approach is just acting like Jesus.
Be like Christ.
Be
Yeah.
like Christ.
Like
Yeah.
100%.
especially here, like it's gonna be so obvious, like
Mhm.
oh, they're acting different, and that automatically like brings them in, like oh, I want to be like them. Like they didn't get mad over that small situation.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not really picking.
And pray for them.
Yeah.
I think prayer is a very, very big thing that people overlook. Me myself included. I think I overlook prayer a lot for other people.
Yeah.
Something Abuna Musa always said is your prayers aren't always for you. They're not. They may not be for you. They may not be for Abuna. They're for other people.
Yeah.
So when you pray in this instance, when you pray for this person, say, I hope they're doing well. Lord, guide their way, bless them, bless their life. You don't know what's going on. He may use that prayer for something else. You don't know what his purpose is. It's not about you. So just prayer. Prayer is always number one. Always.
Any more questions from the
Crowd?
crew?
In a shop. No,
Any more questions from the camera crew?
Wait, someone get him a mic.
so you think
I was saying, I personally don't agree because my brother's best friend, his name is Ahmed. They grew up together. We were all neighbors. And when we moved from Egypt, all of our Christian friends, Muslim friends, they all like cut us off. But Ahmed and Mark still communicate. And Ahmed calls up Mark, says Happy Easter, Merry Christmas. Mark calls him up on Ramadan, they say Happy Ramadan, like stuff like that. I think it just depends on the person, not really their religion. Because like they never talked about religion together, or like Ahmed never tried to bring Mark away from Christianity. Mark never tried to bring Ahmed away from like Islam and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on the person itself.
It sounds like a close friend though, not a best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, no, they used to like go everywhere together. We used to be neighbors, like I said, so they spend the whole day together, like every day.
Okay.
I mean, we moved away, that's why they're not like best
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
anymore. But back in the day,
I think when we're younger though, it's different.
Do you think if they would have stayed, like if y'all would have stayed in Egypt, they would have been best friends?
I feel like there's a very high chance because, like I said, all of our church friends they, like blew us off. Like none of us
Yeah.
like catch up anymore. But like you said about earlier in the episode, a true friend is like one that checks up on you like randomly. Like you don't have to like do something to get a reaction. Ahmed is a true friend from Mark, you know. So
That's
I think religion isn't like a major. It's a big part. But
Yeah.
it doesn't affect it like that. I feel like it's just the person itself.
But
That's
a
what I
good,
think personally, though.
a good friend is also someone who cares for your salvation. So
That's deep.
if no, I mean it's reality. I mean
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be best friends with you, that means I want to see you in the second coming, right? Like I want to be in heaven with you. So how are you gonna go live your whole life, even if you guys are friends up until 70, 80, and you're friends with them, still close? That's where you say goodbye, because if they're Muslim, like I feel like that's kind of bad. But if they're Muslim and you're Christian, and you stay true to your faith, you're gonna go to heaven. And they're not. Well, not necessarily Muslims aren't going to heaven. I know there's a fine line between that, but you get what I mean. Like you can be friends, but you're not true friends, or you're not the right friends. You're not the friends that God wants you to be. 'Cause He's not helping you in Christianity, is he? Yes, he'll say Happy Eid, Happy Merry Christmas, but he's not. Yo, did you pray today? Yo, are you
Yeah, he's
going to
not
Bible
making
study
it
today?
negative or positive.
Exactly. He's gonna benefit you in your life, just not spiritually. Just not in your spiritual life. That's it. A lot of people overlook that and they don't think it's important. Me, myself included, 100%. But
Yeah.
And you're not gonna grow together. Like that's not. If both of them are true to their faith, I don't.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not gonna convert a Muslim man to Christianity. You're not gonna convert a Christian to Islam.
I mean, you
at least
could.
an
It's
Egyptian. At
just
least an
very,
Egyptian.
very, very, very
Yeah.
like small chance. So yeah, back to the best friend thing. You're there to like lift each other up. So there that it's non-existent basically if both of them are still true to their faith.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
think.
if they don't bring up religion, sorry
No,
to
no,
cut you
you're
off.
good.
And if they don't bring up the religion and the friendship, like then yeah,
What are we gaining there?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
if religion isn't brought up and they're both like their separate ways, that's like
I feel like it's being a bad friend at that point.
yeah.
Because you're doing all this, you're acting like life is okay, but in your head, you know that you're working on your salvation and you're not doing anything to help them in their salvation.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's kind of being worse. That's not
Back
even
to
being a
what
friend.
Jesus called us to do, then we're not taking
Exactly.
that action.
Exactly. Like, are you? It's not embarrassment because I understand trying to convince someone or convert someone is very, very difficult, especially on the culture they're brought up in, and especially if it's Islam. Like, I just feel like that one they're very because they have good morals. Like, Yani, they're very stuck on their morals, which is good. It's something we all need to grow from. But it's hard situations to be in to try to bring somebody in like that. But it happens. I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of stories of Muslims converting over to Christianity and Coptic Orthodox. But I mean, compare that to the percentage of people that have tried it before. I
Yeah.
guess.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And thank you, Max and Alex, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
We're on all social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify.
We
are CTP. Have a blessed day.